this to you after, Kristi, in case you need, or any of you, if you want a copy of this Zoom video, just text me or email me and I'll get it to you. All right, so we are about to make easy peasy using this hoop mandrel. Okay. Can everybody see what's going on here? Is everybody able to see? Is that white thing here bothering it? Maybe it is, yeah? Chotto. Let me get that out of the way. Let me move my iPhone. All right. It's amazing how many cords I need to run my computer. It's like, it's crazy back here. Uh-oh. Okay. How is this view? Nod your head, thumbs up, do something in the camera so I know everyone can see it. Right on, here we go. So on this hoop mandrel, if you have a certain size that you want to work with, you're welcome to take a Sharpie pen, even on bracelets or anything, and go ahead and make a mark. This will wipe off easily, polishing cloth, alcohol pad, but it helps you know like where on this you want to work, okay? So what I want to do, let me get this out of the way, is take my piece of wire, and I rarely measure. I kind of just go, oh, I have a piece of wire, so let me work with that. The first thing I like to do is flush cut. A flush cut is where you take the flush side of your cutter. This is the not flush, yeah, it's dipped in. This is the flush side. So you want to take your flush side and you want to cut your wire covering it. So now this is flat. So when we hammer it, you'll get a nice paddle and it'll look really good. All right, so I'm going to take my tool and I'm going to make my first, ooh, I have to make two pieces. Sorry, we're going to be making, let's make earrings. I'm going to cut it to about half. So that's flush. This one I have to make flush. And let's hope these two pieces are the same. And if it's not, then I'll make them the same. So when I make something the same, I push it against my thumb to make the tops line up like that. And this one's longer, so I just go ahead, balance on top of that, and cut it. Now I have two pieces that are the same length, hopefully, okay? Now I'm gonna take my round nose plier, or you can use your wrap and taps, and you're gonna turn a loop. So when you turn a loop, let me go this way in the camera, you want to grab the very end of your wire, nothing extending from the top, and you're going to roll, come back to start, roll, like making a candy cane, push until the wires meet. Once the wires meet, stop pushing, okay? Just like so. Let me do that again on the other piece. Pinching the wire, I'm gonna use jaw number 2 on the wrap and taps. I'm gonna roll around jaw number 2. I'm gonna roll. It almost looks like a candy cane, right? Or like a shepherd's hook. And you come back to start, and then you roll on your thumb again. You pinch and you roll a little bit more. And once the wires touch, you stop. That is one of the most important things. When the wires touch, you stop. Do not keep pushing that wire in to the other side, or you're gonna get a teardrop and you're gonna get this funky pushing edge on there. So you must stop when the wires touch, okay? Everybody good so far? Give me a thumbs up so I know. All right, let's go to the next stage. There's only like 2 more stages. That's how easy this is. So on the small part of the hoop mandrel, we're gonna go and we're gonna put the wire against it. Can you see that the ears are out? You see this ear? And when I say, I mean ears are out, if I wrap this around the mandrel, I would not push against this little loop. If I turn it this way, you see if I were to wrap around the mandrel now, this would get stuck, right? It would get crushed. So you want to make it so the ears are always out. And center it, and you want to start pushing like so. If you can, make sure that they meet on the other side at the same height. How is that for a view? Same height, okay? And then push, 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 push until they touch. I like that. I made a teardrop. I'm going to do that one more time on the other piece. And let me show you what happens. What happens if I make it here on this one? Let me make it really small and crooked. Let me try to do that. So then here I am. One side is too long, right? So you take the side that's too long and you only push that one. Okay, it's still too long, right? So push it down, slide it down on your mandrel, make it a little bit bigger, push that one down a little bit more until they meet at the top. Okay, so what happens if one's smaller than the other? Well, that was a good guess, Uchi. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, put it back on the mandrel and push it down so it's the same size as the other one. That's what you're gonna guess, right? All right, so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna push it down until it's about the same size. You can also do that Sharpie pen trick, or you can put it on like this, flip it over, and then hold them together again and push down. So if you wanted to make a teardrop, we are done. This is basically how you make a teardrop loop. There's still one more step, so let me take you through that. Okay, Kristi had asked me earlier, how do you make them mirror images? Well, here is where they're exactly the same. Yeah, loops on the same side. Here is where they're an image, mirror images. This is probably better, mirror images. So if you folded it in half, it's the same piece, right? Okay, a lot of people like to wear mirror images on their earrings rather than the same, this is the same side. So if you want to try and do that when you're making jewelry, you just have to make sure you're conscious. So when I grab and I make a 90-degree angle, then I'm going to grab this side and make a 90-degree angle. Or Kristi, if you're like me and you have them both like this, then one of them flips forward and one of them flips backward. Does that make sense, everybody? You have choices. As long as you don't do them the same, you will have mirror images. Give me a hand clap if that makes sense. Okay, that's pretty much consensus, so that's good. Davey, does that make sense? I'm gonna assume you were gonna give me a hand clap, and just in case you weren't, I'll do it one more time. When you grabbed your wire, and if both of them are the same piece, when you grab one here, one is gonna bend forward, and one of them is gonna bend backwards, okay? So let's do that. Take the first one, and using the width of my flat nose plier as a measuring device, I'm gonna go right to the edge of the flat nose plier. I'm gonna push forward against my thumb like a table to a 90-degree angle. Can you see that? There, that's a good view. Okay, so that one went forward, so that means this one has to come backwards. This way. And now they're still mirror imaged. You're going to take that little tail, pop it into the loop, and bring that little piece down and pinch it flat, okay? On the other one, the same thing. Put it inside the loop, grab the very end, turn it, and pinch it flat. You wanna make this as tiny and unobtrusive as possible. You want it to be seamless if possible. So you don't want a big loop. Okay, so now we have two of these pieces. And let's say you want to fix the shape a little. That's where this tool comes in handy, because now it can't get bigger or smaller because it's kind of stuck, right? Now that we made it finish. Let me do a side view. Okay, so I'm going to push it down until I can kind of fix the torque, the little twist on this so it's even and flat. And then look how cute that is. We'll put the other one on. And if you have a flat spot on the bottom, like you notice that the wire's not curving, you can put it on, you can hammer it right now. If you shape it to the mandrel, chances are you're gonna get a better shape to come out. Oh, how cute, yeah? And I didn't hammer the other one, so I'll just do that real quick. This hardens the wire as well, so it prepares it to stay in this shape, because you do want it to be permanent, right, once it's done. Okay, now, when you look at a teardrop has flat sides and then a curve. Yeah, flat sides and then a curve. So we can enhance this by flattening out. Oh, chotomate. Let me let my friend in real quick. Coming, Amanda. Okay. You can flatten it out like this. Pinch, 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 pinch. I am using my flat nose pliers to flatten this part out. Now, when you do it, you want to flatten both sides out to the same point. So you can use your Sharpie pen or you can use your eyeballs. I just use my eyeballs. So I'm going to make this one drastically flat through here so you guys can see what's happening as I do it. And you see how it took it from being a chubby bottom to a more elongated one. You can see the difference. By flattening out the sides, you can make it chubby or more elegant, like a teardrop. I like the chubby one, so to fix that, you put it back on your mandrel, like magic, right? And then you hit it to kind of get that roundness back in. Okay, is everybody having fun? Is this like cool? I love using this mandrel. When Kristi told me she had one in her box, I was like, girl, meet me tonight. I will show you how to use it. Okay, Kristi, now's a good time to ask me questions or give me feedback or show everybody what you're doing, please.
Mine is, the top of mine is crooked.
Okay, how are we gonna fix that? We're gonna take our flat nose plier and we're gonna pinch, pinch, pinch on the sides, but we look at the point you're pinching to, because if you're pinching to the quarter mark on both, or I'm not even on camera. If you're pinching, I was doing it like I was teaching a class. I was holding it in front of me and talking to you all. If you're going to be pinching it and you want to pinch to the 1/4 inch mark, make sure you pinch to the 1/4 inch mark on both sides and on both pieces, okay? Because you want both of them to look the same. There is a front and a back to this piece as well. Can you see how like this one's more bulbous still? This one's more roundy. So I'm going to put this one back on and just give it a little bit more gas. So Kristi, while you're pinching yours, now what if you want to make a circle? Uchi, what if you want to make a circle? What do you think you do? Okay, you're right. You just keep pushing it down on the mandrel. If you just keep pushing it down on the mandrel, it's going to turn round. Now, isn't that amazing? It's a one-woman magic show with one piece of wire. And you can kind of tap it. So that's why I like this nylon hammer for this kind of work. If I was making a bangle, I like the German nylon. You know, the one that is like, it has, the two sides are the same. You can go look online on the website after, look up nylon hammer so you can see why this one and the other one looks different. If you're gonna be whacking something like a bangle and you're like, I need to harden it like this is a bouncier hammer, but it's got a small tip. So when I need to come in like this and just kind of hit just, can you see that? Just that spot there. The other hammer can't do that, but this one can. So every hammer has a slightly different use. If you're more into making bangles, I would say get the other hammer, like if you gotta do some hard pounding. But if you're doing, and look, did you see me? I just flipped it, right? Because then this is not big enough for me to want to hit this part. So, okay. And then I like to make everything even. So on the same plane. So what that means is I don't want this loop. I don't want this loop lifted higher than the circle. So you want to make it all flat, okay? So when you put it onto a flat surface, it lies flat. And then we're going to be hammering this soon. Kristi, did you fix your tops of your teardrop to make it like that? Show everybody, please.
One side, but the other side, I don't know.
Okay, hold it up closer to the camera so I can give you some advice.
This one?
I look good.
But this one is still
Okay,
cooked.
put it onto the mandrel and push it rounder, and then go ahead and flatten the top edges, and then you'll get the shape that you want. It was already a little too elongated in body for you to catch up with the other shape. So you have to make it shorter, use more of the wire, and then flatten the sides out. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's okay if it doesn't. As long as you do it, the next time you'll be like, this is how I fix this. Yes, Deb. Can I share your note? She said, so excited. I can do this. So I like doing the little dance for you guys. I did a Zumba class today, you guys, online on Zoom. I was a little bit like, because I'm not coordinated, so I actually kept myself muted and no video because I was just like, oh, as I danced around in my office and sweated, I was like, it was a lot of fun. This is a nylon hammer, Nylon, plastic, and there's two. There's a German version, and then there's this one. I don't have the German one. It's in my bead room, so I'm not going to run it. But this is the tapered, and the German one is if you want to hit hard for like bangles. If anybody else has theirs, if you could bring it up to the camera and show. I think Colleen, you have that one, right? If it's near you. You only have tapered. Amanda Kondo, you might have it if you could show yours. And Takagar, you have that hammer. Can you show yours? It's like scavenger hunt. And go get it. Go find it. And if you have a ring mandrel as well, we could show the other ladies here what the ring mandrel looks like and the bracelet mandrel. And it's pretty awesome. She does all kinds. So that's the hoop mandrel. The ring mandrel is a skinnier version of that. I don't know if Anne knows she's muted. Let me unmute her. Anne, I'm going to unmute you.
Okay, this is the ring. No, this is a
hoop mandrel.
This little one is a ring one.
It's got lines on it, so you can see what size ring you're gonna make.
Oh yeah, you can see lines.
So that helps.
Yes. There.
Okay, so if you can hold, we don't have the plastic hammer she has, but if you can show the one that has two heads the same size.
Like this?
No, that's the tapered, and then the other one that we're in, yes. So we don't have that exact one, but that's the shape of the other one. And the ones that are from Germany, the plastic is really, 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 there you go, Kristi, thank you. That's the one, that one is heavy duty because you can see it's metal in the middle, plastic on the outside, so it's weighted. So you can just whack away with that thing when you're doing bangles and rings. When you wanna harden, this one is okay, but it's about like, to me, this one is like, it's got a fluffy feel, you know, like a fluffy, bouncy feel when you use it. The other one's got a whack-a-mole kind of feel to it. So that's the difference between the two. We only carried the German one for 15 years. And then Jason put one of these up and I was using it for years. And then I did a video and people were like, what is that? And so we started carrying this one at the store as well. Okay, so Kristi, you ready for the next? Okay, show your pieces, please. And then we're gonna go on to the next one. There's not that much more because as you can see, yay, okay, let's harden it and then I'll show you how to do the lotus petal after this.
Came out better.
Harden it. You did good. I am very happy. Let me get some more wire. Because I'm gonna also show you one more thing after this. We can do a couple. You're such good students. All right, I'm not gonna do this all the way through. I'm just gonna give a demonstration. Whenever you hit metal wire, you don't wanna put the whole thing on here and hit any overlapping metal. Because basically what's happening is the top wire is cutting into the bottom wire. So imagine that, you're hitting. This wire is cutting into this wire. Not good, weakening it. So when you hammer, you wanna keep any overlap parts off the bench block, and you can hammer everything else, okay? When I hit, you want to hit both pieces the same. So if you hit this one 30 times, you want to hit the other one 30 times. The amount of the metal is spreading. If you can keep them the same on both sides, then they will look the same size. If you hit this one 15 times and that one 30, this the 30 hit one will look bigger because the metal will have spread, okay? When I hit, you want to try and keep it to a rhythm, because if you just kind of tap randomly all over the place, it looks like it. If you kind of stay, oh, there's a top and a bottom to this also. Remember when we took this little piece and we locked it down? If you can see where you locked it down, that's the junk side. Flip it over, and that's the nice side. And the nice side is the side we hammer, okay? Hammer the nice side. So I'm gonna start at one end, and I'm gonna work my way to the other. Straight up and down. I have a couple hammering tips. Make sure that this thing is coming straight up and down flat. How do you know? Because if you're hitting it like this, it's like tiddlywinks. You won't hear it. If you hear it, you're smacking flat straight up and down. If you don't hear it, you're only hitting with the sides of the hammer, okay? That's the sound we want to hear. So practice on your hand before you come down. Watch your hammer. A lot of people like to tip like this, and they think they're going straight. But then when you look at their wire, it's not flat. It's slightly, it's more hit like on a diagonal. And it is a good skill to be able to hit flat, because once you can hit flat and make a smooth, clean, glassy surface, then you can go on to texture. You don't want to use texturing as a way to cover up your no hammer technique yet. You want to use texturing to enhance your hammering technique. So please practice hammering flat first. And so you can see the difference between hammer and no hammer. How's that? It looks bigger too, yeah? So the surface area got bigger and it looks a little bit more enhanced. Okay, so that's how you would hammer it to harden. If you want to hammer the little loop at the top, then you can just put that kind of on the edge, and you cannot hit the whole one unless you get a smaller hammer, which we sell smaller hammers, but just don't get into that yet. Just go ahead and just hit this part for now. That's perfect. Okay, let me get some wire and let's make something else. Kristi, how are you doing? Good?
Okay.
Your face froze a little bit, like you're stuck.
Yep.
I'm gonna wait till you kind of rejoin me, but in the meantime, I'm gonna trim this wire. There, you're back. Okay, and I'm going to cut it to, I don't know, this much. And I'm just gonna do a demonstration of the Lotus. So when you do the Lotus, you wanna use a ruler. I don't have one. Oh, I have this. Okay, my caliper. So I'm gonna put this on 0 to 70. So 35 is the middle, right? 0 to 70. So 35. I can barely see that. Okay, but I can. Okay, so I made a little mark in the middle of my wire. So you can take any piece of wire and make a mark in the center. Okay, it doesn't matter as long as you do what I'm about to show you. And if you don't have a 6-step wrap and tap, I'm going to show you now how to do it with regular round nose pliers. Okay, so you take your round nose plier and we're going to make a loop. And the reason you don't want to make a small loop is because this wire has to go, inside, right? So if you're using 16 gauge to tuck it into the hole and you make a tiny loop, sometimes you have no space left for the ear wire because your wire filled up that whole loop. So just make sure you make this loop big enough to fit the wire that goes inside and your component, a jump ring or an ear wire. Okay. So now I'm going to take this and put it on and bring it around till it meets. Oh, that was too much wire I used. So I'm gonna, let me see if I can tilt it so you can see. I'm gonna go further up to make it smaller. Then I'll take my chain nose plier and I'm gonna find that middle mark. And the middle mark is weird. Try to look. It's not really, it doesn't look center. And it doesn't look centered anymore because I used some of that wire to turn this loop. So it's okay. Then I'm gonna crank it. And I'm gonna crank it. I'm gonna pull it open. I'll take this, that nose plier. Oh, girls, I wish I had my glasses. I cannot see. Take this wire, make your 90-degree angle, pop it into the loop. Guess what we're gonna do? Uchi, what are we gonna do? Yes, we're gonna take this wire and sandwich it down and pinch it shut. And hope that it looks like a lotus. And if one side's bigger than the other, it's okay. We'll put it on here to kind of like straighten it out first. Give it a second so that it can settle into its shape. And I like to take my plier. Oh, it's so cute, yeah. And then kind of give it an angle here. So just cleaning it up by pressing it really hard. And cleaning that up by pressing it really hard. And then you have a pretty petal, which you can then harden. So if you want to make this kink from the start, because you saw what I did, right? I made my loop, then I made the band, and then I tucked it in. If you want to just do it from the beginning and just go boop on your middle of your wire, you can. So let me show you one more component that's fun based on that idea. So flush cut both ends. I'm going to use what I like about the 6-step wrap and tap is that I know if I pick jaw number 1, it will always be the same size loop. When I use my round nose pliers, sometimes I can move just a smidge and then one side's a little bit different. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to turn a loop, nothing extending from the top. You shouldn't feel your wire. If you feel your wire poking out, then that part's not going to curve. So you need to back it in till it's sitting inside. Pinch it. Okay, so I'm going to turn my loop. And then I'm going to turn a loop on the other side. So you want to make Mickey Mouse ears, and I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so like Mickey Mouse ears. And you're going to place this with the ears out on your mandrel. Oop, maybe smaller. Okay, so they line up at the top. Even. Take it off. And this is a component that you can put a jump ring in and then link it as an ear wire. Okay, or you can take this, you can turn the eyes this way. And give it a little bit of an angle here. A little bit of an angle here. Kind of pass them towards each other. And you have a component. Put that on your mandrel. You can hammer it. I'll use the plastic one. Or you can spread it open and use it like this with a jump ring. Or you can make another one and hook it onto there. So if you want to make that, you just open that up and you put that in there. So you can make small to big. Each one is graduating in size. So there's so many things you can do with just some wire, bench block, hammer, and one of these hoop mandrels. So I'm just gonna bend down and say, do you guys have any questions? Because if so, I can answer them now. Or I can demonstrate or whatever it is you need to do. unmute yourself so I can hear. Kristi, any questions?
Can you show how to pinch down the leaf one again?
Okay, what's the question?
How you pinch down the point of the leaf?
Oh, yeah. Here.
Um,
You're gonna take your wire and your chain nose plier, and wherever your black mark is, you're gonna pinch to the side of your black mark. Here, let me just make a random black mark so you can see. Because you don't want to pinch on the black mark, okay? Because that's the center. If you pinch on the black mark, then your angle will be off. So you want to pinch to the side of the black mark.
okay.
And then you put your thumb here underneath like a table and you push against your finger. So come into the view and do it so I can watch you and tell you like where to put your hand placement when you do it.
Oh, when it was round,
Yeah.
and you pinched it and pulled it down. No?
Pinched it and pulled it down. I pinched it and then I folded it into my thumb. Pinched it and folded into my thumb. So my thumb was the table and I put a lot of pressure on it. Let me cut this and show you.
Okay. Because
Hold
mine
on.
came out like
Your thumb is dying. What?
no,
What?
mine came out like a diamond. I know I did something wrong.
What did it do? I missed the word.
Okay.
What did it do?
It came out like a diamond shape, like a bunny ear.
Did you put it back on the mandrel and push it down? Because that's what I did. After I made mine, I put it back onto the mandrel and pushed it down to reshape it.
Oh, maybe it was too small. Okay.
Let me see that part. I'm watching you. To put it on the mandrel and push it down. Yeah. It looks like a bunny ear. Oh, because it's like long. I get it. I get it. So put it down and push it down and it'll get wider because it's going to use up the wire as you make it bigger. Don't go too fast and don't go too dramatic. Just do it a little at a time so you're watching it. So you may want to stand up and look down because when you can watch it change on the mandrel, it helps. Yeah, perfect, like that. So that view is of what you're doing is always the best to look down your mandrel versus from the side, because you can never see what's really happening from the side. Did that change it?
Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
So I'm gonna demonstrate one more time how to make that V angle, okay? So you hold to the side of the black mark. Don't hold the black mark. If you hold the black mark and we fold, it's not gonna fold on the black mark, right? So we wanna fold onto the black mark. So I'm gonna pretend my black mark is here. We're gonna fold onto the black mark. That's it. And then sometimes I go on the other, I flip it and I go on the other side and I do the same fold because I wanna make sure that it's sharp on both sides. And now's a good time to go, oh, I was just eyeballing it, right? So if it wasn't the same length, then I'd trim one right now. But they're the same length, luckily, so. And so for this one,
Okay.
you can just put it on the mandrel. And then I did this one different than the other one, right? So the wire is super small. So you can push it up in the very smallest part and push it up. And then curl it. So if it doesn't want to go, make it go. There. I have this. And then guess what I'm gonna do, Uchi? You're right. I'm going to roll my loops on each side. So I'm going to use my small round nose plier for this. Okay, so I'm just going to take the end, roll it down. So as you can see, you can build this component in different ways with different tools, as long as you have the understanding of where it has to go. And like I said earlier, you don't have to roll them side to side. You can roll them front to back. but I already rolled them side to side, so I'll just leave them that way. And this could be a cute necklace pendant. If you can't grab the loops with your fingers and push it in, take your round nose pliers, put them into the loops. Yeah, you see that? And then pinch it. So then you're using the tool's leverage to help you. All right. Woo, you guys, that was awesome. Oh, there we go. So this is all using pretty much the same tool. And if you want to turn this back into a teardrop, how do you do that? Anyone? Anyone? How do you turn this back into a teardrop? A teardrop has what? Flat sides at the top. You take your flat plier and you pinch it. Put the flatness back in. Isn't that amazing? I tell you, every time I do wire, I am fascinated by its mutability. So then you have teardrop versus round. All right. I hope you had fun, because I sure did. I love showing like what you guys can make. If you need a mandrel, I don't think we can ship it. So you got to call Michelle and, you know, get the scoops on getting one from her. But these are awesome, because these are all earring components or necklace components, because I love this one as a necklace component, because you can wear this one with just you can jump ring it to chain, or you can just put a chain through the loops and then you can wire up a bead. And if you don't like this shape, then you can turn it into a lotus petal, or you can make it more round by putting it on here. Like that. Oh, that's so cute, yeah? So hours of fun on the mandrel. Okay. So I would like to say goodbye. If there's any other questions, go ahead and yell them out now, but I'm gonna put this back on top of my computer so I can hear if there's anything. But the timing is perfect because I could hear my ear pod die on my right side. I was like, whoa. Okay, that's it. Kristi, you feel good about it?
Yeah. Thank you.
You're so welcome. I'm so glad you all got to come. And if you guys need any help with your projects, reach out and I can do an 8 o'clock Zoom for you guys too. Or any other day, because I have more free time now at home. Bye, David. Bye, Amanda. Bye, Lisa. Bye, Jen. Bye, Deb. Bye, Uchi. Bye, Kristi. Bye, Colleen. I feel like what was the name of that show? With John, what's that movie where they say goodnight to everybody? Colleen. What's that show called? The Waltons?
Oh, yeah.
Is it the Waltons?
Yeah. Boy. Okay. Thank you.
Bye, Kristi. See you later.